Anthropological evidence suggests chickens were domesticated by man as early as 5000 BC. The chicken was brought westward to the Middle East by at least 2000 BC. Our early recorded histories tell of chickens being used by man for eggs, meat, and sport. The use of chickens for eggs and meat developed from man's hunting and food-gathering activities. However, the use of chickens for sport grew out of the bird's natural tendency to fight. The domestic chicken probably descended from the red jungle fowl of India or the gray jungle fowl of Malaysia. In the wild, these birds are territorial. The male rules a harem of female bird and their young within their territory. When challenged by a rival male fowl, these birds will fight, often to the death, to maintain their territory. Dr. Glide Marsh is a poultry scientist and professor emeritus at Ohio State University.
The game rooster, the gamecock, was probably the first of our domestic chickens that arose from these wild jungle fowl.
The bird's natural tendency to fight has fascinated man for centuries.
The birds fight because they're genetically designed to do this. It's part of their very nature.
In India, the Institutes of Manu, systems of laws and rules of conduct, contain specific regulations concerning cockfighting. These laws are at least 30 centuries old, and cockfighting, at least informally, must be older. As cockfighting moved westward, it spread to the Persians, Macedonians, and Greeks. Eventually, it was taken up by the Romans, where it remained popular for centuries. In England, by the reign of Henry II, it had become a popular sport with schoolboys. Henry VIII elevated it to a royal diversion when he had a cockpit constructed at his palace. In America, George Washington raised gamecocks. President Andrew Jackson was a gamefowl enthusiast, and Abraham Lincoln, in his early days, refereed cockfights. Today, throughout the world, enthusiasm for gamefowl and cockfighting is strong. This in spite of opposition to the sport, which has existed in varying degrees for centuries. Dr. Clifton Bryant is a sociologist who has studied cockfighting and gamefowl enthusiasts. His work has been published in various sociological journals.
Cockfighting not only is perhaps the oldest spectator sport on earth, it may very well be the widest spread, the most widespread sport on earth. It is found in almost every tropical and many temperate societies of the world, and is enormously popular in much of Latin America and in some parts of Asia. Enthusiasm is not exactly the correct word for what people feel about cockfighting in the Philippines. They're zany about it. It's like a national sport in the Philippines. Every small town has a cockpit, a pavilion, a coliseum, something of this sort. Some of the ones around the larger cities are very large, very spacious, very deluxe, and attract enormous numbers of people.